Is he gonna play on trackpad or if he's just trolling me? He's always trolling me, but also like for some reason I don't feel like playing, but I also kind of do. I feel like just entering and getting eliminated really quickly, so we'll see what happens. Hello, Ori.
I am here.
Hi here.
Hello.
That is a loud Ori.
No, that is a good volume, Horai. You're just quiet, Javaro.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna like Discord is really annoying. So because like I want to turn down Discord notification sounds, but I can't do that because if I do that, it turns down other people. So I guess I'll just disable Discord notification sounds and never know when someone joins.
I need to quickly see the bracket. Illy, Game Freak, Illy, QP, Game Freak, Javaro. What happened last? Stargazers 12.
Who's Cody Yuki?
No clue.
New player?
Maybe.
By the way, gotta say the production quality on Strikers Saturday was seriously impressive.
The behind the scenes is less impressive than it looks, but thank you.
Oh, well, regardless of how impressive or unimpressive it is, it looks rather polished, and that's quite nice. Looks like serious esports. Probably open Maiden and Spell.
Maybe a good idea. Maybe I should like make the lobby.
Oh, that would also be a good idea.
Max in chat said I climbed over 100 LP today. Sad face.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry, Max. We all have some of those days, you know?
Well, yeah, 100 isn't enough, really. Alright, I'll get things running as quickly as possible. Settings, best of 5, start bracket. Let's get Cody Yuki on stream first, then Illy versus winner of Javaro versus J Feather. Then
Don't we want to just like stream every game?
you say this, but I'm not doing it.
Why not?
I'm exhausted after what happened today.
What
Was it
happened
super
today?
hype?
Omega Striker.
Yes, was it hype?
It was hype, and one of the off-stream games went to 17-15.
I see.
Oh,
It's kind of wild.
understandable.
Yeah, 17-15. It went incredibly hard.
Wow, that's more goals than I've scored in my entire career. That's a lie, it's actually not. It's just a lot of goals, you know? Oh yeah, Max coached us, and even though we went 0-2, it was quite appreciated and rather helpful. I should have said that in the opposite order for better effect, but whatever.
I'm mentally out of it right now.
Understandable.
Okay, so is it at least all best of 5 still?
Yep.
Why aren't we streaming every game?
Oh, I forgot to change the stream category.
Oh, I remember why. Because you're tired.
Yep.
I forgot, and then I remember when you said something. Yeah, what if you just hosted it on Sunday instead?
I was streaming in the wrong category. Oh, on Sunday? No, then I can't do other stuff on Sunday.
What are you doing on Sunday?
Literally anything. Also, why were you... I forgot to change the category.
Okay, then put Omega Strikers later so that we can get more M&S participants.
No.
Do it.
That would not be honest. Just like it would not have been honest if my Omega Strikers team asked for the other team to be disqualified for hiding one of their names.
Can't believe this.
Yo,
I just
Psyduck,
want-
thank you for subscribing with Prime Gaming for the 4th month.
Whoa. Diaduck Pug.
Yeah. Well, Javaro, you need to play J Feather.
Okay, okay,
Who's Psyduck again?
That's a good question.
my mind is very, out of it. Okay, I have to fight Jay. Sure. You said it's best of 5 still?
Yup.
Okay, that's good.
Check into your match, bestie.
How do I do that?
Bestie,
I'm on the fight pad waiting to fight.
check into your Okay, never mind. Sorry.
I don't understand. What do you want me to do?
On Start GG.
What? I'm on Start GG. How do I clicked on... Oh, wait. Why do I need to... What? What? Say you can't keep... You can't keep adding...
You never learned? This has been a thing for ages.
I didn't have to do this before. Why am I doing it now?
Because I kept babysitting your sets.
I liked that. Why are you making me step up now?
Because it's work.
I remember saying when I was late for 20 minutes and you let me play anyway.
Yeah, this is a
I
problem.
was like, it was so good. I was so appreciative, Saya.
Yeah, it's
Look,
still
I
a
know
problem.
I know you're getting tired of me and my shenanigans and want me to go away. Well, one day I will, Saya.
No, it's not about you going away. Also, Cody Yuki with the Royal Arcanist. Let's go. On to
Yo.
greater and better things.
Somebody's gonna be happy with that pick. Although that clock was a bit questionable. Didn't look like they were in too much danger. And unfortunately, that butterfly is gonna score the first hit. Ooh, nice dodge of the butterfly bullets there though, and it's actually Game Freak and takes another hit. I wouldn't have stayed in the corner if I were Cody Yuki there though.
Yeah,
And Cody Yuki's basic does not go through the clock.
Yeah, and we're really seeing the classic lich bullying player who is not as experienced in the game type thing. Game Freak taking up the mantle from Maven, and Cody Yuki just trapped in the top right corner. And the card was just inevitable at that point.
Yeah, it was a rough one. Game Freak starting with a double basic, but it does not pay off, and it's Cody Yuki who gets the first and second hit.
Oh, and Game Freak
Wait,
just BMing, going for basics only. So we have better things to talk about than this particular card. Horai, thank you for the subscription for 1 month at tier 1 1 minute ago, and we're on another card now.
Is
Oh, you're
too late
welcome.
to have someone else
Okay.
sign up?
It
Game
is
Freak is playing for real this time.
Javaro, I think it's a little bit late. I'm sorry.
Are you sure?
I think it's just a tiny bit too late.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Okay, look, I understand.
Who
You
was
can't make
it?
an exception. It's no one. I'm just asking the question for.
Really?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
In general, though, Cody, I think, is just holding back a little too much, giving Game Freak way too much space to play with. And when you give someone who is good at the game a lot of space to play with, they can just win.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm gonna just like play. It's best of 5. My head is like I almost have a headache, honestly. I don't know what happened, but like my mind is so dead right now.
Me too.
Nice dodge by Kota Yuki. If nothing else, they're good at doing narrow dodges of those butterfly bullets.
I can agree. He's definitely manipulating the movement speed of Arc with wide very well to avoid getting hit by things.
Oh, but second
Ooh.
guessed a little bit after the hit and backs up right into a bit of a self-inflicted checkmate, and once again just getting mixed up by just the butterfly shots, not really strafing to the side immediately.
Yeah, I think risky dodges like that are only going to work for so long. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Probably counting on the moon there, but it kind of got eaten.
Yeah, and Kota Yuki really needs to stabilize a little bit here. Can't get again, like kind of walking into the shots and then circling out of them. It's so scary.
It is.
But maybe getting a little bit more room, walking up a tiny bit on Game Freak, which is what you have to do. That arc wide is ineffective at max range, but unfortunately gets caught while trying to walk in a little more. And as some people would put it, the deadly center of the Lich wide does trap Kota Yuki up for 2 hits, but now getting one of their own. Game Freak now looking for another hit, and finally just 1 heart away from taking this second game.
Ooh.
Alright, let's see how this game goes.
Alright, it's a bit of an oh no moment. Maybe a little bit of a switch coming out from Kota Yuki, who is...
Oh. Yes, it is the best of 5 for this tournament.
But you have to feel bad for Kota Yuki a little bit, because in a different era, there'd be a few more players on like a similar level to them. And it's not like they're a bad player either. Like, I would firmly place them above the beginner level, like the beginner level. But with the current tournaments like this, like, it's just people who are capable of winning a tournament and up only. I think everyone in this tournament has won a tournament except for Kota Yuki.
Is that true?
I think it
Let me
is.
see. Oh my gosh, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that is a very hard draw.
Probably should point out, Kota Yuki probably should have declared the switch.
But as they lost, it doesn't really matter. It only really matters if you're the
They
one who
haven't
won in
lost yet.
switches. Oh, that's unfortunate. Doesn't even give Game Freak time to drop the flower down. Tries to get past, but it doesn't work out.
A nice stick by Game Freak there. Knew what Kota Yuki was going to do and was not having any of it.
Okay, and Game Freak once again with a lot of space to play with. Kota Yuki on a pick that can challenge at longer ranges better with those diamonds, but still, if you're backing up, you're just going to walk into... Ooh, Game Freak forgetting to press the button, never mind. Turns an inevitable situation into an escapable one, but once again, Kota Yuki pressing at the back wall, taps the diamonds maybe by accident, and I think this is over.
Oh no! Yeah, you gotta press that basic a little faster against the Lich.
But I think even from that like 3-0, definitely one of the better new performances I've seen in a tournament. Like, didn't just immediately run into everything, and also like dodged.
Yeah, they certainly did a good job, and it's admirable to join a small tournament with a bunch of impressive players like this. Whether you know it or not, it's admirable to get into the tournament scene when you're a new player. So it's always nice to see.
Yeah, and we might have Javaro J Feather on stream because their game is still in progress.
Yeah, it is. Dude, now I'm gonna have to play Lich Mirrors on stream. I want to play Frost after this.
Oh, by the way, I think Kota Yuki's character was incorrectly recorded as
Oh
Arcanist
right,
for the
yeah,
last round.
I got lazy. Oops.
Lazy.
The whole point of The character data. Yup, QP Game Freak not on stream.
It's so sad. You should stream them. Like,
No.
yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
No, I'm gonna stream.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna stream game 2 of Javaro J Feather.
This is so sad.
How's the game going?
It's a Lich Mirror, so it's going pretty much like that. Currently, Jfeather is opting for a more defensive style, while I am playing a very aggressive form of Lich. We're both neglecting our flower setups, but so far it's a somewhat close game. At the moment, I'm up ahead 1 card, but down 1 heart. So this might be a card 3 situation. But Jfeather gets hits. Now it's 1-1. He's on his last card. But he does have a nice cushion, having won game 1.
Oh,
But I got an impressive hit, and now it is 1-1.
okay. Character select, please.
I did paint a picture though, didn't I?
True. Oh, what were like the what was the stuff?
What do you mean was the stuff?
It's 1-1. What were the character picks in the first 2 games?
Both sides.
Both Lich?
Both Lich.
Ooh. And Jfeather won the first
Ooh.
one, you won the second one?
Yeah, Jfeather won the first. I won the second game. It was double. I won without any card loss on the first game. I think Jfeather won without any card loss in the second game. I don't remember what hearts were.
Alright, once again, Javaro a little bit trying to be a little aggressive. Jfeather pushed back to the corner, but Javaro gets hit from that butterfly, a bit of a backstab, and oh, it just doesn't get the flower, but makes it out, which is arguably a little more important. Does not want to take the hit there and give Jfeather further time to advance the setup lead. But Javaro in a situation where he can enjoy dodging a little bit. A lot of butterfly setup for Jfeather, and Javaro will have to get through that inner ring of wide, but that does not happen.
Yeah, even though Javaro got hit, those were some seriously brave dodges, going right through the ring multiple times and surviving a couple times, even hitting Jfeather in the face that time around, and catching Jfeather just on the edge of the flower.
Yeah, and we're seeing quite a bit of the flower Novi fire, but ooh, that was the weirdest deletion I've ever seen. Just deleted way after the fact, maybe the last wave of deletion. Crazy.
Yeah, it looked like the beginning of the flower was a response to the deletion itself, rather than the flower, if that makes sense.
Oh, but
It's definitely happened a few times in our set. Oh, whoops.
that was a fast card right back from Jfeather. Javaro just not able to keep the momentum going with the dodges. And once again, Jfeather winning the flower war a little bit. Javaro with the late press.
Oh
he hit me.
no! Wrong time to try going through there.
Yeah, and Jfeather kind of punishing Javaro a little bit because, correct me if I'm wrong, but you tried holding a little bit longer, right? On the flower?
I don't think so. I'm just like trying to go. I'm just like I tapped it there. I'm trying to get really close to him
Oh.
because it's funny.
Javaro going for the high stakes playstyle. Unfortunately, at 1 heart now, needs to keep surviving, but all it takes is 1 shot from Jfeather. Javaro, though, starting it up a little bit, feeling a tiny bit trapped, has to dodge, has to flower dash through, and finally gets caught by a basic for Jfeather 2-1.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Javaro's flowers there were not doing a lot of work, not eating that many of Jfeather's flowers or butterflies, whereas Jfeather was succeeding in doing so. That time, Javaro eats the butterfly right as it's placed, though.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how Jfeather's just basicing in response to Javaro running through the flower. Maybe just catching the timing where Javaro thinks, oh, well, I can wait a tiny bit to place the flower.
Ooh, that basic almost hit Jfeather, but went right to the side.
Yeah, and Javaro once again looking for a way in, doesn't get the deletion on the flower though, and that means J-Feather can just like hang back in that bottom right corner quite a bit. And when Javaro gets hit, that's more time for J-Feather to run away. That flower is still persisting. Finally a deletion coming out from Javaro, but maybe it's too little too late. Alright, J-Feather with a big deletion on 2 butterflies, and Javaro unable to get through the middle wide ring.
Aggressive style is so hard.
And this really makes you wonder what happened in that game too, because we did see flashes of it in game 3, but it just feels a tiny bit inconsistent from Javaro. When it works out, it's incredible, but working out in a high frequency does not seem likely.
Varo does catch J-Feather with the edge of the wide ring there, giving him a bit of a chance.
Yeah, and it feels like a lot of Javaro's hits are from that up-close mix-up, playing a bit like a pseudo breakfast setup with the flower and the wide sometimes.
Indeed.
But again,
Which is...
oh, what?
Oh no! I was just gonna agree that Lich's wide ring was like a stationary sun basic. I guess that's gonna be it, and J-Feather wins the Lich mirror.
I can't do it like Rim can. It's so hard.
Alright, and now it's Illy J-Feather.
All right, that's fine. I would have been upset if I went in.
Alright, but the real question is... Oh! Where is Illy?
No way.
Being aggressive is a good strategy. It got me pretty far when I was just starting out.
Oh, it looks like Game Freak has taken one of the games.
That took a long time.
Might as well watch League of Legends World Championships or whatever.
Watch
Oh,
me.
okay, Illy's on their way. Finally.
Oh.
Illy was watching League of Legends Worlds.
Oh yeah, I can stop this. There we go.
Oh yeah. If we're gonna devolve back into a podcast, so I need to reinstall Linux on my computer, on my laptop. Oh, is this Trackpad Illy? Never mind. I'm not hyped for Trackpad Illy.
So true.
Zero hype for Trackpad Illy at all times.
This Illy's new trackpad name.
Alright, it is time for winners. Officially, it's winners semis.
Well, I've got time, right? I can go for a little while.
Yeah. Wait, no, you have to play.
What do you mean I have to play? Who am I playing?
Oh, you can wait. Yeah, you can wait. You can wait. You have time. You have a lot of time.
I do have a lot of time? Okay, good. Then I'm gonna use that time.
What does gelb mean? Oh, jewel only, please.
Alright, I'll be back.
Goodbye, Javaro. Take care. Can't believe that's the last we'll ever see of Javaro.
True. Dude, but they're playing the Lich though. Let's go.
And Illy playing Moon Priestess.
I actually like the colors in this matchup.
Me too, but Illy does not.
Ooh. Well, if the goat says so, it must be true.
Oh yeah, whenever I play with Illy, Illy would always go to pink Lich so that we wouldn't have to deal with this. Well, I personally didn't mind, but Illy did. J-Feather cornered, but dispels just in time for Illy to be the one to get hit. Oh, I'm sorry. I mixed them up. Illy was the one who was cornered, but dispelled just in time for J-Feather to be the one to get hit.
a return to the Spellbirdas where Illy was only a Lich player. And was facing quite a
yes.
few suns. Bracket demons in a few suns as well.
Indeed.
But right now, Illy the one sending out the diamonds against the Lich. J-Feather has to dodge, does not have Flower up right now, almost gets trapped, but manages to maneuver out of that corner, but finally cannot make it out of that basic.
Yeah, just barely too. J-Feather going for the aggressive Lich play, taking a thing or two out of Javaro's book. Gets cornered but avoids the diamonds, but goes a little too far into that basic instead of dodging it along the ceiling. It's really unfortunate. Illy just barely takes the card.
Alright, and diamonds coming back again from Illy, but dispels, goes for the basics instead, catching J-Feather. Don't know how that happened over there, but J-Feather once again on the back foot.
J-Feather diving a little deep into those sun basics sometimes. That time it's the waffle that catches him. Oh, and another one.
And J-Feather really looking for that offensive gameplay, but unfortunately can't really escape as consistently as he would have liked.
Yeah, dodges the breakfast combo and the breakfast special with the diamonds too. And hits Illy.
Yeah, looking a little better for J-Feather now if he can keep this up, but it's difficult. Has to pick the right directions against the basic every time and not get caught in this dispel trap right here, but moves a little bit too much and bonks into a wide.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Fun fact, by the way, I did not participate in the first tournament that Illy ever won, which was one of the Spellbirdas. And the reason for that was because while everyone was having an epic tournament, which was Illy's first win ever, my entire city died in a tornado.
Ooh.
And so I had no internet and couldn't even participate.
On the bright side, I think you, me, and Illy all had the same first tournament, right?
That tournament was not my first tournament, but it was the first time I commentated.
Same difference, right? Surely. We can revise history a little bit.
Yeah, it might have been like my third tournament.
Oh, okay, wait. That's not close at all. Unfortunate. The commentary milestone's still there, though.
Indeed. We started at the same time and both participated in that one. And that was the last time you ever participated in a tournament.
What? I participated in a few after.
I know.
I think I think I've only ever gone like 2-2 at my best.
Oh.
Definitely not the greatest Maiden and Spell player, but some may say I am the greatest TO.
Oh yeah. You know I said that Cinnamon was the best commentator we had, but I think you're actually better at this point, not gonna lie.
I mean, I have the advantage of a few years on my side.
Oh yeah, but that's still worth something.
All right,
Jay
but
Feather taking a step back, eating the sunburst. Oh no! I was just gonna say, Jay Feather probably wants the walls to get a bit smaller to gain some more of an advantage. But that just is not happening in this set.
yeah, both players really just getting hit, especially that last card. J Feather was so close, was almost on the brink, it feels like, but unfortunately just backs up into a wide. It feels almost like Ada's Blessing-esque. Felt like a death wide that was almost off screen pretty much. But now finding a little bit of aggression, catching Illy a tiny bit. Illy sneaking along the bottom wall though and does not get stopped.
Ooh, a lot of flower bullets and the basic piling up on Illy there. That would have been a real difficult dodge. Right now, though, it looks like Illy has things under control despite being against the wall, easily streaming those butterflies. Oh, but the wide just barely blocks part of his ceiling, and Illy gets stuck. And that last wide is going to be it.
Yeah, and J Feather, when I guess like the aggression really starts rolling, it works out. There's just so much pressure, but really just needs to find a little bit of consistency in the card to create an entire game out of it.
Jay Feather diving through the wides and basics, but gets caught by the dispel, but escapes. Jay Feather used to dodging those breakfast setups. He's done a really good job of dodging them this set. Unfortunately, not that time. Kind of caught by surprise and walks back into the basic.
Oh, and Illy getting hit quite a lot here. You have to wonder if this is trackpad, because because the dodging does not seem to be there nearly as much. Could be wrong though. Could be just placebo, but gets caught by a wide and now is at one heart game. J Feather 1 heart away from taking this game.
And that is it. Scores 1-1.
Alright, and an immediate basic by Illy catching J Feather. Now Illy just running away, using the Diamond Dash into Dispel to keep safe and maybe trap J Feather a little, but J Feather does not get caught, thankfully. Would have been really tragic if it was 2 straight hits.
Jay Feather going through for so many risky plays here. Did you see that? Like going right through those basics and everything,
Yeah,
and actually surviving.
and Illy getting hit, running into a wide a little bit, it seems like. Trying to trap J Feather. It doesn't work out until finally catches J Feather, but immediately gets traded back along the bottom wall. Alright, and J Feather once again just walking around, managing to avoid the basics, and Illy once again the one getting hit. 1 heart away from dropping yet another card.
Yeah, I've got to say, Illy's putting out a lot of melee pressure this game, and it's sometimes working against Jay Feather, but Jay Feather's dodging a lot of it, and I also think Illy's long-range pressure is a bit lacking this time around.
And also, like, it doesn't feel like the dodging is there this time for Illy. Does not seem like the usual Illy we know and love, running into wide after wide. I feel like the last 5 hits have been wides almost. However, catching J Feather maybe can find a little more here with the Dispel Trap, but J Feather just finds the angle and walks out, catching Ilya with a basic. That one was very, very real.
Yeah, I don't think Illy is angling those breakfast combos well enough. You want to mix them up a bit so that the other player can't dodge through the wides as easily if you can help it.
And we have
Ooh, that butterfly. Okay, Illy does escape the butterfly just in time, but J Feather butterflies right as the dispel comes up, so that's not going to work. And J Feather using the wide ring to take his third game of the set.
character select.
Ooh, it's Red Hood,
Yep.
a classic trackpad Illy choice. In response to the Twitch comments, Illy thinks the matchup is really bad now that the flower cooldown has changed so much. And I do think that cooldown is a big deal, but frankly I have not played the matchup enough to say if it's really as bad as some people have said. So I don't have an opinion. Alright, Illy taking the first hit, but running into the ring of flowers.
Yeah, and assuming this is trackpad Illy, I think Glitch is a pretty good pick against trackpad Illy. All things considered, the wide ring kind of dangerous as long as you can get close. But right now, J Feather backing up a little too much, gets caught up in the pressure and sniped down by Basics.
Yeah, this is looking like a good counter pick for Illy so far.
Yeah, I guess like the sheer amount of you have to dodge this that Hood can put out in an instant is so much better in preventing, I guess, J Feather from being able to walk up for free.
Yeah, although at the same time, look at all these scary narrow basic dodges J Feather's doing.
Yeah, now J Feather was in for a moment, and if J Feather can keep getting in, it's so scary for Illy because Hood at point blank is not the greatest character. Illy though, stuck a little at the bottom left, needs to get out, but unfortunately ducks back into the butterfly.
Yeah, that was smart of J Feather to set up on the other side after Illy got hit, knowing that Illy would probably move to the other side. Ooh, J Feather tried to go for some dodges, but is not able to pull it off. But he was already at a huge advantage that card, and this time J Feather is the one who triumphs over Illy.
And now J Feather 4 hearts away from taking this set over Illy. Just needs to hang on for a little longer because trackpad Illy about to run into some more wides as we've seen a bit of a trend throughout the set. But maybe the one in a bind perhaps is J Feather, who has run into 2 consecutive Hood wides in a row.
You didn't call them binds.
I did call them binds.
Well, you said in a bit of a bind, but
Yeah. But if I say
well, fair enough.
binds twice, that's like too much like
Yeah, that's only something I would do.
yeah.
Oh no, Illy did use that vanish a little too far away from the flower, if going through the flower was your plan. Excellent dodges by J Feather.
Oh, and once again, Illy backing up into a wide. J Feather takes the set.
Yeah, that counter pick looks like it could work, but J Feather is able to triumph in the end.
It was Hood only for the last game, right?
Yes.
Crazy. Now we have J Feather Game Freak. I'm assuming it's trackpad Illy. It is 99% likely. Give Kodayuki another stream game. It's versus Illy. Even trackpad Illy. I'm not. I'm not gonna just do that. That's just not nice. If it was any other tournament, if the tournament wasn't full of tournament winners, I would have done it. But like, it's a bit of a mean tournament to do it in.
Here's a question though, when's the last time a tournament hasn't been full of winners?
I mean, I feel like there's been a few, right?
Okay. Maybe. But a lot of the active players have won at least once by now.
Yeah, but you can name a lot of people who haven't.
Oh, I guess you're right.
But it is kind of concerning that it is pretty much like a 50-50 split.
Well, the community's become a small group. Not always a bad thing.
Ooh, and Game Freak 3 zeroed QP. What the heck?
Ooh. QP not far enough into the tournament to unlock the Lich slaying powers.
Has the entire losers bracket to charge up.
Oh, true.
Alright, Game Freak versus DN Game Freak 9. I mean J Feather. Wait, what did I even say? I forgot.
Game Freak versus DN Game Freak 9.
Oops, I meant J Feather versus DN Game Freak 9.
J Feather 6 versus Game Freak 9.
True.
DN Game Freak 9.
It's kind of funny how like they're so like equally matched name wise.
Yeah, and character wise.
Yep. Game Freak, however, very, very comfortable in this matchup.
Yeah, and eating 2 butterflies right there. Not great for J Feather, who just taken a hit. Ooh, and gets punched in the face by the Lich. By Game Freak's Lich.
Alright, and Game Freak looking to speedrun this game a little bit. The offense really not necessary, it seems like, because J Feather kind of unable to avoid everything that's coming out. Game Freak not having to fully commit on offense, can hang back and play safe a little bit, it seems, but finally J Feather gets the first hit of the set.
Yeah, I think Game Freak was counting on that flower to do a little more work. But instead it got eaten. Okay, that one did work though.
Yeah, and we're seeing quite a bit of that. It really feels like this tournament so far has been the tale of using Flower offensively, Flower and wide especially, for direct offense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Except for Javaro, who just used basic.
Alright, but a bit unfortunate as J Feather bonking a little too much to recover in this card, it seems like. Needs to calm down, but not getting hit for 4 entire hearts in the Lich matchup, no matter what character you're playing, even if it's Lich, is quite a hard feat.
Max, have you seen Depth in Storm? Lich is not number 1 by far. She's number 3 by far.
Well, it's like people aren't gonna grind Depth and Storm as much, I think. Lich gives you more accessible power, I would say.
True, but I mean, kind of true. She's a little harder to use, and you have to do a lot of work before being like Game Freak here with those crazy butterfly desyncs. Nice dodge by J Feather, just in time. Looks like they're gonna do a basic duel, but none of them get hit.
You know what this like conversation's reminding me of? In
What?
the first summer of Maiden and Spell, when I was convinced of 20LL, the future where Lich's inevitability is just better.
Oh my gosh, people called it the Lich Apocalypse.
Yep. It was a bit wrong then, but now Lich is kind of good.
True. I think the latest Lich changes were a bad idea. I would have done it in the opposite direction.
Really, I think like the spirit of them was good, but they were a bit too change instead of nerf. Like the whole point was to make it less of like a static build your wall and then play your game type thing. Having to like be more active in that sense, which was good, but the problem is like not to change it as an idea, I feel, but like the overall power balance.
Maybe. I mean, it's wacky how Lich was one of the better characters, and she was more or less buffed in the latest patch.
Right, J Feather though up 2-1 in this card. Looking kind of nice, but that wide bonk, once again, the inner ring of wide, proving to be quite the move this tournament. Alright, and J Feather backing up a little bit. Game Freak circling around, playing a bit safe. And finally, J Feather gets outlasted.
Yeah. It's always scary when you're 1-1.
Right, and a bit of a slower early game. Both players just trying to build up, and now Game Freak approaches, looking for that usual roam around and place flowers type of playstyle, and catches J Feather walking in on a butterfly placement.
Eats 2 butterflies. Not the greatest flower placement, but at least Game Freak has his own little corner now. And another hit on J Feather. This is looking quite good for Game Freak.
Yeah, and J Feather was kind of stuck in Game Freak's world for a bit, and a trade to finish this game.
Good set. Oh, are QP and Illy still waiting for their losers matches? Oh, no, it's... So Illy already fought and defeated Cody Yuki, and now it's just QP waiting for Javaro.
I guess we have to have that on stream.
Yes, so.
Where's Javaro?
Oh, you tried to stop the Lich changes, Max? Okay, let me go and look at all the Lich changes and talk about them. Hold up. Where's the patch notes? Okay. Making wide last longer was a bad idea. Making butterfly move speed even better was a bad idea. Reducing the size of Novi life was a good idea. And reducing the duration, well, that's related to cooldown, so maybe not a good idea, because the cooldown thing was not a good idea. I think the problem with Lich is that she was overtuned and too strong in matchups that could easily have been equal footing
I think
a better game.
Hi
a better
back.
world.
Oh, we have to
Oh,
spectate.
hey, Faro.
sorry about that delay. That was not intentional.
It's fine. We're chilling.
I had to do other stuff for a second. I thought I was about to. I was thinking I might have the DQ, but I made it.
Was there anything
Um,
like critical?
Well, it was more important. I would say it was more important than this tourney, maybe.
Probably. Like I would assume a lot of things are more important than this tournament.
Yeah. Okay, my hands are cold. They were like already cold before, now they're like super cold.
Are,
It's like a whole nother layer.
are you gonna pick like Frost and Just Dodge to warm them up?
I'll pick Frost, sure. I'm fighting QP. I can't promise any good dodging like last time, but I'll do my best. Oh god, my hands are cold. Jeez. This is like, whatever, it's fine. I'm gonna spam basic because that's always fun.
Alright, and is it weird for me to have missed Jewel Box a little bit?
No, every stage has its own thing. I'm just surprised you don't miss stages like Rain stage.
I miss everything except Jewel Box usually.
I see. Well, last time I picked like a Rain stage, you didn't like it.
That's the worst stage. I'm sorry, but that's actually the worst stage.
If Jewel
What's
Box,
wrong
if
with-
Jewel Box wasn't like monotonous, like that would be my least favorite stage. And if
So
you like
sad.
ignored stage pick rate completely, then that would be the worst stage.
What's wrong with Rain stage?
Isn't the default music on that like the slowest song in existence?
I like
For me,
slow.
it's the background that's annoying because
yeah.
it's just a little too colorful for me.
You keep trying to dodge the rain, alright? It's not that kind of game.
Oh, yeah, I'm too used to Toho. Sorry.
Javaro says we won't see anything, but casually taking the first card.
It's sad because it's a beautiful stage too.
Yeah, what
Nice
else?
roll by you, Javaro.
Sorry?
Oh, I just said nice roll.
Thank you.
You're a little trapped there, though.
I am.
I'm
I
doing
can't-
second-person
I'm not gonna make it.
commentary.
It's very fun. Let's see. Can I make this? Probably not. No, I
Ooh.
can't.
Yeah, spend a bit of distance on the roll, doing a little bit of a semicircle, and
I need to get out of this box.
that kind of like spin on the roll, kind of sorta lowers your overall distance.
I don't have a controller, so I have to just lose distance whenever I make a non-straight movement.
Yeah, analog privilege.
Yeah, it's how it goes. I'm like working towards Taz fingers though, so it's okay. Oh, that was just a bad roll. Like that was a bad roll. That's what happens when you don't practice using roll.
Good roll by Javaro, and right now the game is completely even, 0-0-4-4. And
One card each.
yup, and Javaro, determined to prove me wrong, gets a hit right away. And QP just trying to dodge the basics and approach a little bit, puts out some wides, but Javaro does not get hit. Illy says, I hope Javaro wins, otherwise I have a 0% chance of victory. You know how you can improve your chances of victory, Illy? By not playing on trackpad.
It's so true. You're laming out right now. You're cringing out, Eiley.
Like, you playing on trackpad is lamer than Javaro.
So true.
You know, that's not what you told me when I didn't play Sun for a whole tournament, Saya.
We were all thinking it. Don't worry, alright.
True. Well,
What?
maybe not completely true. I mean, I feel like there's a difference between picking off characters and just nuking your control scheme.
Is Illy nuking his control scheme, or is Illy using the controls because Illy does not have access to the usual controller?
I don't know.
Nice escape by Javaro there. The walls are getting tight, and... Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was close.
Well, you are winning, though.
Oh no,
Oh.
my roll didn't come
Well, it is a
out.
tied game, though.
Commentary curse, and Javaro needs to survive. QP has taken a few hearts now, just needs to hang on for a little while longer. But Javaro just putting out the basics, hoping QP finally will get hit. QP almost missed dodges, but makes it out, and Javaro's the one who manages to land the basic at the end of the day.
Oh,
Yeah, just in time, too.
Yeah, I was gonna get hit there. Like that was crazy. Um,
Oh, by the way, Saya, are you making predictions?
No,
Oh.
I could, but it's a bit late for this set.
Yeah,
you can
fair
still
enough.
move it.
I'm just asking because I want to earn VIP. As if that mattered.
I can just VIP you. Wait, no, you're mod. Mod is higher than VIP.
Not necessarily.
Wait, can mods not be VIPs?
Yeah, VIP is like a downgrade.
Oh!
No, VIP is a different thing.
No,
I still want to redeem the thing just to say that I did it. Like, it's less about the VIP and more about the redeeming.
I don't think I could VIP and mod someone at the same time. Right? Yeah, I can't.
Oh, okay. Javaro just barely dodging those wides there. And
Yeah, I
escapes in
hate
time
wide.
to hit QP with the Sword Storm.
Wait, what am I fighting QP for? What? Wait, I'm in losers. What?
Yeah, Game Freak beat QP and it's a 6-person bracket, so if you lose in round 2, you still get sent to losers round 1.
I see.
6-person is one of the most cursed brackets in existence, but Javaro dealing with it quite well, even with QP in the second game up in game count. And QP, the walls are still wide, does not have that end game to play with.
I don't think QP is up in game count. I believe we're 1-1 now. Or yeah, because I won. I think I lost the first game, and then I won the second game. I think.
It's 1-0 right now, Javaro.
Is it? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's 1-0 in favor of you.
What? I thought we were even. I thought QP won one.
Oh,
Okay.
you know, now that
I
you
don't
say it,
know.
I feel like QP won one too.
We're gonna have to go back and check.
No way. Game Freak,
We
I'm
actually-
correct, right? It's 1-0 right now? Alright, but Javaro once again, tries to roll over the basic, slightly missing. And now QP with an early lead. So scary, so hard to come back against the Storm. When Storm can just play confidently, just sit in the basic, know that they can dodge, and start forming the walls.
That was unfortunate for QP anyway.
Thank
Pretty fortunate for
goodness.
Javaro, who might have survived anyway, but was cornered and just fairly got a hit.
It was. Oh, whoops. Okay, I'm noobing a little bit. That did not look the way I was expecting it to go at all.
Right, and Javaro once again trying to avoid rolls out of the way of the tap basic, and still surviving, throwing out that focus basic, but QP still refusing to get hit. And
Oh, nice.
Javaro has to roll out of there, but stays one place for a tiny bit too long. The wide coming in to snipe, and now QP one hit away from winning the second game. Or third game, but I'm pretty sure it's second. However, Javaro...
We need to start a prediction on like what the set count is.
No, I'm just right. Game Freak's gonna come back with the footage reviewed and say I'm correct.
It's true.
I'm
Give
correct,
the
let's
footage.
go.
Okay. Maybe I was just thinking that QP looked like they were winning in that first card.
What a fantastic dodge by Javaro out of the corner, but we'll have to replicate it many, many times because one heart is not a lot of hearts to play with. But Javaro does have a lot of heart just surviving, dodging up and down, left and right, and now it's 1-1 again, just needs to hit the roll, gets out of there.
Yeah, nice escape. QP not finding a place to trap Javaro yet,
Let's
and
go.
a pretty smooth victory for Javaro.
I can't believe it. The flowers are spawning around my head right now. I'm so happy.
What a ridiculous card. Javaro really just proving that maybe dodging for fun is worth it. However, unable to get out of that little predicament, does not get hit by the wide after the roll, which is crucial. So many times, it's just a simple rollout right into the wide that's approaching. Even though that last card was incredible, for Javaro to make it worth it, he has to take this game, and currently at a deficit with the walls closing in. It's going to be so hard, but he evens it up.
Misdirects the basic right inside the clone. Classic frog tactic.
True.
Ain't
Javaro
no froggy.
doing it almost felt automatic for Javaro.
Yeah, I've seen Javaro do that a lot actually.
Alright, has to roll out of there. But once again, not in the greatest position. Manages to get out. And now QP has to sweat a little bit because Javaro has a bit of time to press a bunch of focus basics. And yeah, Boo, they do only get hit if it touches the small hitbox in the player model, which is why these dodges are so crazy. And the projectile is so dense, but Javaro gets a hit, but gets hit in return, and now this endgame is once again swinging back in the favor of QP. Javaro has to keep dodging and pray a little bit that QP will miss a dodge. But the wide catches the roll, and this could be the end of the card right here. Javaro backing up, not trying to get sniped out by the tap basic. QP mixing it up, but Javaro continuing to dodge, but unfortunately presses down into a wide, and QP ties it up 1-1.
Yeah, that was really rough. And I think in that second to last heart that Javaro lost, I think after doing that roll, Javaro was right back in another corner. So even if the wide hadn't hit, it would have been difficult to survive. But Javaro has shown that he knows what he's doing in this matchup, so it's definitely not over yet. It is 1-1 after all.
Absolutely, and it really comes down to if QP can clean up the dodging, or if Javaro can become even more of an Immortal Frost player.
I was hoping you would say who wants it more.
I'm not gonna do it.
I felt you doing it and you corrected yourself.
There was a temptation. Javaro though, the quick 2 hits, QP making a few mistakes in dodging inside the focus basic, and once again challenging it, trying to be confident, because staying in it is how you create those deadly walls at full screen. Oh, and that looks so scuffed, but Javaro gets caught after the roll by the oncoming wides. Now Javaro once again will have to hit a good roll here, but unfortunately cannot make the distance on the bottom side. Right, Javaro once again rolling back and forth. QP now continuing to charge inside the focus basic, pressing the wides and catches Javaro at the top
Wide.
wall, and suddenly a lead for Javaro has evaporated as QP takes it back.
My shield can protect me from cursed wide. So sad.
And yeah, Hero Frost has a shield. What does she use it for?
Stun wave.
A lot of Frosts don't know this. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Like I like my dodging isn't even me. Like that's what happens when you hold shield up in the beginning. Like it just does it for you. Crazy.
Oh, which button is shield mapped to?
It's just back. It's like fighting games. Just hold back.
Oh, interesting.
Alright, and Javaro makes it out, presses forward at the right time.
Yeah, nice job moving forward into the roll. That's going to be tough, though. But you live... Oh! Yeah, that was a bit of a rough situation.
I gambled it. I wanted that hit so bad.
Yeah, it was crazy that Javaro didn't get hit, but it was also wild how QP followed up so well, and now Javaro in a horrible situation, 1 heart left, managing to get a hit here though. But yeah, QP's follow-up was just so automatic on that, even though Javaro went for the return hit in the bottom right. But now Javaro feeling a little bit trapped. QP can plug up that gap soon. Crucially, does not get the hit with the wide, and now QP looking for another hit with the basics, but once again the wide does not connect. Alright.
Yeah, narrowly.
Yeah, and really disciplined rolls from Javaro right now, trying not to get hit for free. The unfocused basic barely misses a wide as well, and manages to survive long enough to get the hit. Oh, and has to roll out. Does not have roll, but it's a 1-1 out of nowhere. Javaro just surviving. The railgun coming out as well. QP pulling out all the stops. Javaro might be trapped here.
That is it. Real tough when the walls get closed when you're fighting against Storm.
My stun wave didn't come out. This input buffer is like so good, but like it's so bad too.
At the end, it was so close, but just a little bit too far. And once again, Javaro starting out in the top right, just dodging a little by little, but finally gets caught by a basic. Going for a bit of an aggressive roll, does not pan out. And QP getting a little tap happy, wants to get these free hits early on, but Javaro isn't giving any more. Oh! But that roll just gets caught up by a wide end. It's so unfortunate right here.
Yeah, unless you're QP.
Yup, really, really good for QP. On the brink of just taking the
Javaro is
set.
cornered too.
When Javaro is narrowly avoiding death over and over. But yeah,
Yeah, finally escaping from that corner.
Yep, and once again, trapped at the bottom wall a little bit. Or maybe willingly trying to snipe with the wide, but QP isn't giving it to him for free. Goes for the stun wave, but maybe a tiny bit late. And now QP just in a really, really good spot. Huge basics coming out from QP. Oh yeah, this is a horrible time. Never mind. Okay, let's keep on going. QP, once again setting up the wall of basics. Jivaro unable to get through all of them with the roll. And QP, once again, the basic chains are pretty much coming out. Jivaro unable to squeeze through the top again. Now QP, such a good spot once again. I'm saying that over and over. Catches Jivaro with the clone melee. And just needs one more hit. Goes in aggressively. Gets punished for it with the basic. It's so winnable for Jivaro, but that basic doesn't come out in time. And QP is the one who takes it.
Was that Javaro's tournament life?
Yup. And now we get
Well,
QP versus Illy.
I tried. My dodging wasn't as good that time, but it was still pretty good, I think. I'm pretty happy with that.
You had a pretty insane card. That one card is montage worthy.
I'll take it with, like, I don't know. I always get one moment in tournament that I'm happy about. I'll make that my moment. Anyway, I'm not gonna stay though because I do need to go.
All right, thanks for
It's been a
hopping on.
Little iffy.
yeah, thanks, Javaro. Take care.
I'll see you there.
See ya.
Lich versus QP. I'll answer that question quickly. Because Frost is more fun.
Giga Chad.
Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye bye.
See ya. Also, Jivaro has won with Frost versus QP, right?
I want to say yes.
Like almost definitely.
I feel like a lot of these players have beaten each other before.
Yeah, but like, I think that's one of the more like not one-sided player matchups.
Yeah.
Because we have quite a few one-sided player matchups. And Illy is once again missing an action on their way. Where from?
This is an Illy classic.
True.
No offense. Oh, it's Illy. You feet too strong.
Illy just like shamelessly yoinks the left side. Zero shame.
Hearing opponent too strong right after you're about to join is like the equivalent of seeing a bunch of power-ups in a pile before the boss.
I'm still sick. How many weeks has it been? It's been like 3 weeks, right? I've been coughing on broadcast for like at least 3 Stargazers.
It was at least 2 weeks, because I remember it was last time, but... Damn, I hope you feel better, Saya.
Honestly, same.
Really?
Yeah, I also hope I feel better.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, we're heading into trackpad Illy versus QP. And Illy, as expected, playing the hood, the trackpad classic. Oh, and QP gets trapped pretty early on just by the wide and the basics, taking a very, very early hit.
Nice vanish by Illy. If there's one thing Illy is good at... Okay, there's a lot more than
Yeah, I heard if there's one thing Illy is good at and started thinking a little bit.
Okay, but one of the many things that Illy is very good at in this game is using defensive specials right when they're needed. And I think we can expect to see a lot of that to combat the downsides of trackpad.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also important to note that Storm is not a stationary wide character, and perhaps the biggest enemy of a trackpad is those stationary wides because you could walk right into them.
That is very true. Question is, how well can you control yourself in order to not run into storm wides on the trackpad?
That is also a very, very fair point. But it looks like QP is starting to warm up, but as I say that, QP getting hit in the top right, looking for another hit here, but Illy also just trying to cause QP to bonk, but stays in one position for a little too long, not really just moving fluidly, but finally gets the basic on QP, who's trying to run in.
Ooh. A little too close for comfort between those storms.
Yeah, and Illy getting sandwiched by the clone and Storm herself. And now Illy's at a pretty big deficit in this card, vanishes away from pressure but gets caught by a wide immediately afterwards. And now Illy just looking for a bit of a snipe, trying to catch QP moving in, but QP jumps in with flash step, goes for a bit of a clone play, but it doesn't work out. Illy still avoiding at the moment. Now you have to wonder if QP is on the brink of losing another clutch card here, just like what happened with Javaro, because Illy has been surviving for far too long, it seems like.
Indeed. QP. Oh no! That's unfortunate. And just when QP was getting into setting up those charge basics.
Both players staying, and Hood really is, I guess, the character to play for Illy in this particular situation. It just feels so right, especially in this matchup as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Red Hood is really nice to use for trackpad since she's pretty... You kind of just do the same stuff over and over to play her and need to focus on dodging.
Yeah, and it also feels like Illy's particular way of playing Hood is pretty good against QP, because QP is running into the pressure quite a bit. Illy's timing the basics right, but gets caught by a wide while trying to dodge sideways there.
Oh, QP was doing some nice dodges there, but just barely gets caught by the focus knives. QP just holding that wide, looking for openings to shoot those basics. It's right up in Illy's face, but not able to land a hit.
Alright, and Illy surviving for quite a bit this card as well, but as I say, that takes a hit. Was 2-2 for a bit, and is trying not to get hit by the clone, but slowly drifts out with the basic slowdown, and that's just a free basic for QP.
Illy doing the Illy battle cry, shaking back and forth.
Really makes you wonder if QP will finish adapting by the end of the set, because I think it's looked better and better for QP as the games went on. Sorry for not having much to say. I'm kind of tired.
Oh, it's okay. It is a bit hard to find things to say sometimes. Ooh, Illy scoring a crucial hit on the Storm, preventing the arena from growing, I think, which is a big deal in this matchup.
Alright.
Although I will say, even though I think Storm is favored in small walls for obvious reasons, I think there's something to be said about how even characters like Red Hood get a bit scarier when you have nowhere to run.
Yeah, I feel like people often, well, not people often, but I feel like it's not good to say that a character is better in small walls than another, because, well, I don't think anyone, whatever. Yeah, it's really just about relative strength rather than one being stronger and one being weaker. It feels like all the characters are stronger in small walls, but to what extent?
Yeah, that is the question, and it depends on not only the character, but also the matchup. And also the precise size of the walls. Like in Sun versus Red Hood, when the walls start closing a little, that's a pretty nice situation for Sun. But if the walls are at full length, that's actually bad for Sun. So that's one example that I'm familiar with. Alright, QP taking the game, Illy putting up a good fight, but sometimes it's not enough to overcome the limitations of your controller. Illy switching to Sun, alright. Alright. Sun versus Storm. Some people think Sun has an advantage against Storm in this patch. While I'm not entirely sure about it, it is a bit difficult for Storm to navigate those Sun wides with all their angles. So we will see how much better Illy is able to do, if at all. Ooh, QP looks trapped, but there comes the flash step. Illy's diamonds do not shrink down to react to it. That's what I like to do a lot of the time. And so QP is able to escape the diamonds and even get a hit on Illy. QP narrowly dodging some diamonds there, doing an excellent job, to be sure. Not that time, though, when dodging through those diamonds would have meant going right through that basic, makes the situation a bit more complicated and a bit more difficult. Oh, QP lands right on a wide as it spawns. Classic Sun wide snipe. Even after they got nerfed, there's still a strong tactic for Sun. Oh, that looks really bad for Illy, but it's QP who takes the last hit in the end. Nice diamond channeling by Illy, getting right between those storms, which is where I think you want to be a lot of the time. QP doing good job dodging, though. Not getting wide sniped, at least not yet. Gets trapped by a basic, though, but is able to escape with the flash step, and catches Illy with the basic, right as it's charging. And another hit on Illy. Not exactly sure what hit Illy there, but QP running right up in Illy's face to charge a basic. Illy activating that Dispel just in time. I think Dispel is strong in this matchup, and it's a good idea to use it as often as you can to escape situations like that. It's not always a good idea to try to react to mix-ups. QP a little bit trapped, but able to escape with the flash step and actually catches Illy just in time before Illy's basic activates. It is 4-1 in favor of QP this card, and the arena is getting smaller. Ooh. That is gonna be it. We're 1-1 now. Let's see if Illy can take this home. Is the score 2-0 or 1-1? I think it's 1-1. Yeah, that's what the stream says. Okay. So even if Illy loses here, Illy will still have a chance. And same for QP, of course, but it's the Sun switch that I'm wondering about. Is it going to help Illy or not? And so far, it's a bit inconclusive. Illy trying to trap QP with the diamonds into basics, but the flash step is up, so it's not going to finish the job just yet. Sun Priestess defending herself with some close-up wides there. You need to use those a lot against Storm, I think. Especially Storms that love to do close range, which I wouldn't exactly say QP is one of, but it's always an option, always a threat. And right there, Illy gets trapped without the Dispel and takes a hit. Illy looked close to hitting QP there. Ooh, that was the wrong time to move, but Illy just barely catches QP with the tap diamonds. And catches QP with a wide. Suddenly it's not looking so bad for Illy anymore. Here come the basics and the Dispel. Illy doing some aggressive moves in order to gain some ground, and I think that was the right move. Illy trapped, has to pull out the Dispel. QP charging on Illy, but Illy is able to dodge it just in time. But Illy accidentally runs into the basic as it's forming, and that is game 3 for QP. Alright, game 4. And if QP wins this, QP wins the set. Ooh, the diamonds just barely trap QP right between those wides, and QP runs into another wide. It's really unfortunate, but there, QP takes a hit with the basic. Nice flash set by QP right before getting caught between those diamonds. Oh, an unfortunate hit on QP, but Illy has to pull out the Dispel. We will see if QP can take advantage of that with those charged basics. Putting down a new clone. Illy's looking cornered, and yes, Illy does take a hit. It is 1-1 this card. And I think QP has a pretty good chance. Illy gets out of the charge basics, but burns another Dispel. Oh, but the close-up basic into diamonds catches QP. And we are down to the second card with Illy in the lead. Arena's getting small. Illy puts those wides right outside QP, maybe hoping QP would back up into them, but it doesn't happen, and the surprise basic with its usual unexpected angles, typical of Storm, catches Illy and takes a hit. But Illy manages to catch QP with a diamond. Illy going for a wide snipe, but those wides just go a little too far, and it doesn't amount to much. Illy barely moving between a small basic and a large basic to escape the setup though. Setting up diamonds, but QP goes right through them. This is not looking good for Illy, who has to pull out the Dispel. Illy between the storms where you want to be. Able to avoid all those setups. How long will it last is the question. Oh, right before Illy looked like he was going to take a hit, it's QP who takes a hit. Almost gets wide sniped, but QP is able to avoid it. Oh, but QP runs into a sunburst, and that is going to be it for the round. It is 2-2. So QP taking the first hit of the final game by backing up into an unfortunate wide. Putting out as many wides as you can is a good strategy for Sun. Restricts where your opponent is going to go and helps you know where your opponent can't go. Unless they want to get hit. Which usually you don't.
Yeah, definitely getting hit is not something you want to have happen in this game. Illy once again sending out the wides, layering it with the diamonds, trying to catch QP, forcing out the flash step. But will Illy be able to capitalize during the time that it's down? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, excellent job pushing QP back into the lingering sunburst with those diamonds. Actually, do I still get to say lingering sunburst, lingering basic? Do people still know what that refers to? That was a patch that I fought for. Illy cashing QP with the diamonds right at the bottom of the screen, though it looked like QP could have escaped. Taking the card. Looks like the sun switch is paying off.
And QP hits the very last frames of that basic. Really paying off for Illy.
Looked like those tapped diamonds almost got QP, but QP is able to escape. Not cashing Illy with anything though. At least not yet. Here come the charge basics though. The clone does not catch Illy. And once again, oh no!
Oh, QP does a little bit of second guessing. And that's enough for Illy to take it.
Yeah, that was a rough one. Excellent job by Illy. Took one loss with the sun, but got used to it, I think, and was able to triumph over QP. Excellent job by QP, though. Had a great run this tournament, I think. And I guess Illy versus J-Feather is next.
Yep.
Curious about who they're going to pick. By the way, Saya,
Yeah.
if you think Omega Strikers, which I would say has a lot more fast and easily describable action, do you think that makes it easier or harder to commentate?
I think Omega Strikers is 3 million times easier to commentate than Maiden and Spell. And it's not even close.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better, because not gonna lie, I was having a bit of trouble that last set, and thinking back to how well the commentators were doing in Omega Strikers just a few hours ago was an experience.
Yeah. Also, can I just point out, it always said FGKG instead of GLHF. Misplaced their hands on the keyboard.
FG would be the G, and the K would be the L. And wait,
It's a little strange, but it's more than a little strange, but Yeah.
Game Freak says Illy casting a hex on Jay in the M&S chat, and we will see if that hex actually amounts to anything.
Yeah, and this is a rematch from earlier on when Jay Feather took it 3-1 against both of Illy's picks so far in this tournament. So, I don't know, like, Illy's kind of been struggling against the stationary Ys, but maybe a bit of the trackpad warm-up and it will be less of an issue, but that's not even relevant here because Illy's getting hits on Jay Feather before Jay Feather can even think about the Ys being a factor.
That was a super scary Dispel trap. Jay Feather managing to escape it, but running into something else at the end. Oh no!
Oh, that's
And
brutal.
Flowers on cooldown for a bit too.
Oh, and Jay Feather this time not getting hit, stopping himself just in time, but that wide drift just catching him, and Illy looking quite different.
Speaking of wide drifts, I believe this is a battle of two characters who are known to have wides that can hit stationary opponents.
Indeed.
Wow, that was a fast card.
Yeah.
Illy taking game 1.
Also, a lot of it is that Jay Feather has been waiting for a few minutes, and Illy is hot off a game against QP.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Illy's like fully warmed up. Changing color. Oh yeah, that's the Illy classic, right?
True.
Game Freak out here saying change color too, Jay. But these colors are so nostalgic. This reminds me of like Kero Kero versus Illy. Or maybe even like Speed versus Zorn. A lot of like
Speed versus Zorn.
there's a lot of iconic matchups.
What's the most iconic matchup in M&S?
If you asked me this last year, I would have said Nyx versus Illy. But now I don't know.
Fair answer.
I go,
That would have been a fair answer.
yeah. Actually, no. Do you want the most iconic matchup is Nyx and Losers Finals.
Oh. Doesn't Nyx get second place every tournament, or at least second place?
Nyx has a 100% win rate in the losers bracket.
That is true.
But I think what's the most iconic if I had to say now? One of the iconic matchups is well, Game Freak versus QP is pretty iconic. And that's like a good narrative thing too, because both of them are relatively new. But Jay Feather looking much better here. Maybe the color counter pick helping Jay Feather out, but Illy still managed to secure the card even though it got a little close.
Ooh, early hit on Illy. But Illy making it up right away before Jay Feather can even put out a flower.
Yeah, that was such a... These basics are so confident from Jay Feather. The aggression really paying dividends right here.
Yeah.
Another basic, and it's just... Illy's just getting caught by these basics. Alright, and that's Jay Feather taking a card. Maybe this is a sign of it turning like the previous set, because I'm pretty sure Illy won the first game of the previous set, and that was the only game Illy won in that set.
Yeah, until Illy got 2 more wins.
Against Jay Feather?
Oh, you were talking about against Jay Feather.
Yeah.
That would make a lot more sense. I don't know why I was thinking about the last game.
I wasn't very clear. I just said last set. it is very confusable in a little bit of a sense.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right, and Ilya in the lead right now, but that lead may be fleeting as Ilya's trapped in the inner ring, but manages to get a hit and gets out of the inner ring for free. But once again, that inner ring of Y, it's such a big factor against someone who isn't 100% there with the movement. But Jay Feather lingers in the basic a little too long, and the basic lingers right on top of him.
So I guess Illy is going to take the second game after all.
Yup. Alright, exact same picks once again. Game 3, Illy 1 game away. And Arcane Chicken in the chat says, I've seen Jay Feather win these. Wait, that's actually interesting. How many times do you think Jay Feather has reverse swept a set? When in like a when in a 0-2 deficit, what do you think Jay Feather's reverse sweep rate is?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. But now that might be something I keep an eye on.
Yeah, and if I can like get the stat stuff together instead of delaying for over a year now, not over a year, approaching a year now, then that's something we could look up. But Jay Feather needs no stats right now because it's looking pretty good, even though One Heart still getting the hits and forcing Illy into the corner. Alright, and this chat is making me check the Strikers Saturday bracket because apparently Arcane Chicken's team destroyed the Maiden and Spell team in Omega Strikers.
Oh, was that in winners or
Losers. It was TXST Esports.
And we were doing a little better in that game, but it was in that set, I mean, but they still kind of destroyed us. But you know what? We're gonna get you next time, Chicken. I guess. Or something. I don't know. I didn't mean that in like an aggressive way. Especially since Max was the one who brought that up. Oh, but since you're here, good games. I didn't actually get to say that because I didn't see where the chat was happening. Because apparently it was in start.gg. And I don't know where to find that. So, whatever. That is an unfortunate hit on Jay Feather, who is starting to gain some momentum. Noticing Jay is playing a bit aggressive, hoping to get those hits on Illy.
Alright, and Illy is playing a bit defensive and manages to get out of the corner and also gets a hit with that tap diamonds. And also secures the card, and it was looking like a game for Jay Feather, but now it's back to even cards.
Yeah, Illy kind of caught Jay with that wide there.
Illy once again just playing so well defensively, even with that movement hindrance. And Jay Feather once again trying to find a way in. That basic was on point, forces the dispel out. But the pressure just seems to be all, and as Jay Feather walks in, they're risking the diamonds, the basics. They're risking getting hit for trying to approach. And now Illy just trying to force Jay away again, but walks into the wide. Dispel, diamond dashes into the spell to get away from the deadly left side. Trying to catch Jay Feather moving in, but gets caught instead, and it's again 2-2. And out of nowhere, Illy gets hit, which means Jay Feather is one hit away from securing this crucial game, but Illy's definitely not out of it yet. It all depends on if Jfeather can get in that corner to set up a little more or gets hit while doing so. But all of that doesn't matter if Illy just runs into something, as
Oh.
is pretty common.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Arcane Chicken, I hate to tell you this, but simply dodge is a little bit difficult in this game. Especially against certain characters.
Yeah, some characters make it simply unable to dodge when you're in a bad spot. Jfeather throwing to increase the reverse sweep percent? Question mark.
Jfeather doing me a huge favor by throwing in order to make this last longer, so I get closer to earning VIP, which I don't even need.
We didn't even do predictions.
Oh, true.
I should like rig a bunch of predictions to have Horai on one side and everyone else on the other to funnel Horai money. Funnel Horai bestie
Oh.
bucks. To
That would be something.
so Horai can like become the bestie buck sink by spending it on VIP and getting nothing out of it for deflation.
Yes. What a brilliant plan. I don't believe I could have developed a better plan myself.
But right now Illy is looking a bit shaky, running into 3 wides in a row. Does not run into the 4th yet. Jfeather moving in, but Illy once again holding up. Jfeather pressing the wide button. And the Jfeather reverse sweep is looking more and more likely. It's looking more and more doable.
Illy having to use Dispel to escape from that basic a while back was pretty scary. Now Illy all the way against the other wall. Nice wide dodges by Illy though. Finally having to pull out that Dispel. Can Illy make it to the other side? The answer is yes. But once again, Illy looking trapped in that wide ring, not helping his cause. Neither is the other one, and finally Jfeather gets the hit he'd been looking for.
Yeah, and the single tap wide, just the tool for Jfeather, the tool for Lich as a character in this set, when it's so hard for Illy to dodge through that middle ring. Illy once again trying to survive, barely gets to the top wall, catches Jfeather over aggressing, but it's still hard. Still very, very difficult to dodge everything that Jfeather's putting out. Jfeather so close, just hanging back, not trying to risk anything with a 1 heart lead and the setup that is adequate, and Illy gets outlasted and it's 2-2.
Wow. Jfeather reverse sweep incoming?
It's looking very, very likely at this point.
Arcane Chicken accurately describing what needs to be done. Jay needs to keep striking the core into bumpers, and that it looks like it's exactly what Jfeather is doing.
Absolutely. Jfeather is gonna be right back. Perhaps implementing the advice.
Most likely. Why are they called Bestie Bucks, by the way?
Because it's such a good name.
True. I'm just wondering if there was like some backstory behind it.
Well, I call people besties. I don't know when that started. When did that start?
I don't know. I noticed that you do that recently.
So
But
it
I
was
don't-
after you left, but a while it was a
Maybe.
while ago, but after you left. So when's the exact time frame? Okay, so between Horai and Max. That's actually a pretty that narrows it down quite a bit, honestly.
What's Windcraft 2.0?
It's Windcraft. It's a Windcraft update. And no, I've been saying besties before Windcraft 2.0. It's just between Horai
What's
and Max.
Windcraft?
Winecraft, it's a Minecraft server. It's basically an MMO in Minecraft. It's okay.
Interesting.
The best part about it was the item system, because this random Minecraft MMO had the best item system that I've ever seen in an MMO. Like, it was legitimately like mathematically interesting.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
So there's 5 different skill points, and gear has requirements and bonuses of those skill points. There are also multiplicative, well, formerly additive, but now multiplicative damage bonuses on 2 of the skill points, and multiplicative defense bonuses on 2 of the skill points. And one of the skill points was a spell cost reduction skill point, which I don't know why people thought it was balanced for quite a bit, but it was very over centralizing.
Interesting.
And someone tried to make a build optimizer that basically, if you gave it like parameters of stats, it would go through all the items in the game, check their compatibility with each other, because you had like a finite 200 skill points to assign at max level, and with all like the items interacting, someone tried to make a build calculator that tried to reach like certain thresholds in desired stats, but it spit out like a really funny build of suboptimal items. So that was like shelved, because further attempts at making something that would narrow down an optimal build were too complex, I think. It just incredibly like it's accidentally amazing, it feels like.
That reminds me of the Genshin optimizer,
Ooh.
which is a work in progress that attempts to optimize Genshin teams, but one of the so-called best teams that I found, probably based on some glitchy thing, or not really glitch, but like a problem that has not been resolved, is a ridiculous team that nobody would ever play.
Yeah. And also, like, I talked about the optimizer, but that's probably the least interesting aspect of like what happened. Let's see. So the funny thing is, like, people who are super into the item system knew way more than the developers themselves. Like, there were a bunch of like interactions regarding this skill point bug, where if you had negative skill points on an item, they wouldn't properly apply, letting you equip items while not having the necessary skill points. And it took like people writing an entire paper on how the skill point formula should work for the developers to realize that something was wrong. And also the damage formula is another mess that they changed in 2.0, which is why I haven't like really been involved in the community since 2.0, because I don't know, there's something about the build system before that update that was just like really simple, but also beautifully simple.
Oh, interesting.
That I'm getting so many Genshin flashbacks from this story.
Yeah, and I think like the one differentiating factor though is that every item is like is designed in Winecraft. Every item has a range of stats. Positive stats have a range from 0.3 to 1.3 times like the base stat, and the negative stats have a range of 0.7 to 1.3 times the base stat. But the important thing is, like, yeah, items are all designed and balanced in a sense. They all have an identity. They're not like all stat sticks.
That's cool.
I probably should have said that first.
Oh,
Yeah.
that kind of provides context to the entire story.
that. Now that I think about it, yeah, I'm becoming vaguely interested. Not gonna lie.
Unfortunately, like the actual like gameplay itself is not the greatest. So there's a reason why people who stay in Winecraft long term tend to stop playing the game, but like still talk about the game while not playing it.
That may be worth avoiding, to be honest.
Yeah, it's fun to talk about. Just, I'm glad I haven't touched the game in ages.
Understandable.
Kriachi's in here rubbing Game Freak's loss to Arcane Chicken in even more. Can't believe it. Wait, where's Illy? Illy's just vanished.
Rest in peace, Illy. Died as he lived. Whatever that means.
Something like that.
In this context, nothing. Oh, actually, it kind of does mean something because Illy is always disappearing. Is that Illy? It's Illy. Let's do this. Alright, Illy versus Jay Feather, round 5, the one to end it all.
This isn't the one that ended all. Oh wait, no, of the set. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, of losers finals. And then we will go to grand finals.
You know, Illy may be the greatest of all time in Maiden and Spell. But in a loser's final set, I would always bet on Nyx.
Understandable.
Which actually makes you think, how much of Nyx's streak is because Illy didn't get sent to losers?
Well, if Illy were the type of player that did get sent to losers, then Nyx would have a better chance of beating Illy in the first place.
True.
Also, that's an unfortunate way to start the game.
Absolutely, and maybe you have to think that Illy is a bit cooled off, not warmed up. Same with Jfeather, but I don't know. It feels like a warmed up Illy is the strongest in this matchup.
True, but don't forget that Illy did win the first 2 games of the set.
Stargazers doesn't redirect today's I forgot. Okay, it's fixed now.
Nice.
Alright, and Illy had a bit of a lead, which is a bit uncharacteristic because the wide bonks and the butterfly bonks are quite a factor. Oh, a bit of lag coming in. You have to think maybe Illy's laptop has disconnected.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. Oh, maybe not.
Alright.
Okay. Illy pulling out an emergency dispel to solve the emergency, I guess. Starting that diamond channeling and hits Jfeather right after Jfeather burns that flower.
Right, and Jfeather just walks through the wides casually, knows that they won't hit him when walking directly forward, but the butterfly takes care of that heart of Illy's, and Illy now trying to escape that corner, but there are wides all around him. But maybe the wides were the real enemy of Jfeather after all, because the waffles just close on in. Oh, and Jfeather bonking into a wide, one of the more slow-moving wides of all time. Illy now looking to just stay back, channel the diamonds, wait for Jfeather to make the mistake. Jfeather not making a mistake so far, dodging out of the basics, not getting hit for free. And I don't know, Jfeather just can't find a way in right now.
Yeah, and Illy's doing some nice wide dodges. Finally, Illy gets trapped, though, between the flower and the wall, but snipes Jfeather with a wide.
Yeah, Jfeather kind of moving a little to the side and then stops. A perfect wide snipe opportunity for Illy. But Jfeather getting a hit back, keeping it close. This lead is not insurmountable. Illy again, trying to circle around a little bit, just needs one more heart to take the set. Jfeather responds with the basic, and maybe that was what the missing piece of the puzzle so far, because remember how basics were so good for Jfeather, but it's a bit late as Illy takes the final game.
Wow, I guess that is it. Good job, Illy, for pulling it off against Jfeather, despite the probable trackpad.
Alright, and Illy versus Game Freak Grand Finals time.
Even MU confirmed. I don't know about that.
All right, grand final. Yeah, what happened to the pause? So what's the story with trackpad? So Illy is the greatest player that Maiden and Spell has ever seen, with an incredible winning record. I could probably dig up stats somewhere that says that Illy won every single major tournament in 2021 except for the one they didn't attend. That's a real fact, right? Probably.
Sounds true.
And they are also known for trolling on trackpad.
The one Illy didn't append was like QR4 or something, right?
Yeah, and that was Zorn's, I think.
That is what I have been told.
Holy shit, where did I see Zorn and Magical Mountain? 10th? Okay, that's a little sus. Why did I see Zorn below Karo Karo? Well, I was busy. Seeding Brain was not in full force then. Oh, true. Okay. Max saving me, saying Zorn was performing badly at the time. Thank you. Saved.
Knew I could count on you, Saya. Can
True.
I count on you to fix the stream layout, though?
What do you mean fix?
Oh, it's in zoomed out mode. That's all.
Well, the set hasn't started yet.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was looking at it a little too early. Okay, and it's all good now. And I was not spectating. What?
Oh, really?
Could have sworn I was.
Were you looking at the stream a little too much?
I may have been.
Alright, I'll Discord stream.
Saya, my bad. Zorn did make it to second place last tournament, though, right? So that's pretty epic.
Are we
Ooh.
really? Are you sure?
Didn't he? Was either second place or...
Yeah, you're right. Lost to QP.
Okay.
But a fast card by Illy. Trackpad Illy's definitely won an ATM. Like, absolutely. No way Trackpad Illy has not won an ATM, but Game Freak looking a little good at the start of here, putting down the wides. We're seeing a little bit of the difference between J-Feather and Game Freak's Lich play styles here. J-Feather's might have been a little bit more immediately effective because of the wide usage. Game Freak not tap widing aggressively as much on top of Illy.
Yeah, Game Freak playing a bit passively, I think. J-Feather was going in for those hits.
It's kind of funny how Silent Red Hood has a color in their name, yet has a green skin.
It's true. That is precisely why I bothered to point it out, by the way.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that the green person was called Red or Red Hood.
Right, Illy in a bit of a predicament, and that basic seals it. Right. Game Freak a little bit overconfident, maybe that doing the equivalent of dash dancing in the middle of the stage and getting punished for it.
Yeah, that was a double hit there, wasn't it? And another hit on Game Freak by the bind.
Yeah, and you have to say, Game Freak's in a bit of a bind in this game. Illy about to go 1-0 up.
Yeah, and Game Freak with only one heart. Ooh. Rough way to end the match. So it is 1-0 in favor of Illy.
A color change coming in. Yeah, the pink and green is a little bit hard on the eyes.
Oh, that means I can spectate.
Huge.
I'm spectating.
Was I streaming the wrong thing?
No.
Okay, good. Okay.
Commentating if you were streaming the wrong thing.
True. The low in the action means I can pull up the stat. Okay. So in 2021, there were 6 major level tournaments in Maiden and Spell by my arbitrary ranking that I think most people would agree with. Illy won 5 of them and Zorn won 1 of them. And the one win by Zorn was when Illy and Nyx both didn't attend. Kind of crazy. Also another thing. The Javaro qualifier to Magical Mountain is named the Javaro qualifier because Javaro was instrumental in getting enough people for the Raid's Shadow Legend sponsorship for a bigger prize pool. And then Javaro did not do so well in the Javaro qualifier. It was a bit tragic.
Why was the other one called the OJJ qualifier?
I had no clue what to name it. My creativity was at an all-time low.
That is fitting, given how OJJ got its name.
Alright, and this one's reminiscent of Frog versus Illy.
Yeah, probably because they're using their usual colors.
Except it's flipped. It's weird seeing Game Freak on the blue.
Illy trying to melee Game Freak with those basics there. Game Freak not having any of it, dodging all of the focus knives and basics. A little scared of those. Shoots Illy in the face, but Illy vanishes just in time. Illy's going to be a bit trapped without that vanish, though. Game Freak putting up that other flower and setting up some... Oh, didn't actually set up anything. And gets hit by either the bind or the knives. I'm not actually sure. Oh, that's unfortunate for Illy, though. It's 1-1. Game Freak narrowly going around that basic there. Dodging everything. Illy in a bit of a difficult situation with that butterflies, vanishes to the other side, and the focus basic hits Game Freak, bringing it to 2 cards in favor of Illy.
Yeah, and that was a little scary for Illy at the top left corner, but still clutching it out. But Game Freak might have something to say about it in this particular card.
Yeah, looks like it. Illy running into the Ring of Flowers.
Alright, and Illy in a bit of a tough situation with 1 heart left, dodging along the left wall, maneuvering around the butterfly, crucially not getting hit by the wide for free, getting out of the wide ring before it's too dangerous, but again, it's looking so good for Game Freak, especially if Illy makes a tiny bit of movement up and bonks right into the butterfly. Alright, Illy forced to vanish but lands right on top of the butterfly, and you have to wonder, how did that happen?
A little hard to keep track of yourself in... Okay, how did that happen?
Trackpad is a little bit of magic sometimes. Okay,
Ooh,
well,
a wide snipe.
alright, the vanish coming
Vanishes
out.
just in time.
Absolutely, and Illy just on the back foot right now. It's so hard to come back versus Lich.
That's going to be a lucky break for Illy, I think. Hits like that are exactly what Illy needs right now. But Game Freak, a good dodger as always, is not going to make it easy. Illy, interestingly, not putting out any binds there, which is what I would have expected. And running into that last wide, Game Freak was not in much trouble, I think. Illy switching to Frost.
Alright, Illy going in with the Frost. And I don't know. You have to wonder how good Illy's Frost will be under trackpad conditions.
The gamers in this game never confirm their pronouns. I'm just guessing half the time.
True, when I was compiling pronouns for Magical Mountain, it took me way too long. Like, because I didn't know a lot of them. And also, like, I only got response on Uomiya's after I made all the cards.
Oh, what are Uomiya's pronouns?
He, him, if I remember correctly.
Oh. You can always default to she, her, since this is a maiden battler anyway. Whatever that means. It's a magical girl battler.
Yeah, all the characters are like that.
Nice stun wave by Illy, eating those butterfly bullets right before they come out, I think. That was a bit of a dangerous situation for Illy. Ooh! Yeah, not the best misdirection.
Illy also not the biggest defensive ability abuser.
Yeah, not in this particular set. I think it might be a bit hard on trackpad for Frost.
However, Illy getting the focus basic, Game Freak unable to dodge all of it. And if Illy can just get one more hit here, if Game Freak can slip up, it's gonna be huge.
Illy's cornered though. I don't know. Okay, it looks like Illy might be able to get out. Stun wave it. Oh.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
had roll up too. It was a bit of an unfortunate situation because right after Sunwave, you saw the bullets approaching right outside its radius. Game Freak though, playing confidently in the dodge. Not afraid to stay in the basic for a bit, but usually just crossing it. Alright, and Game Freak, I think Game Freak's not really doing the usual, right? Because Game Freak would usually want to just approach in order to place a butterfly regardless of, like, danger. But that's not really happening. Leaving Illy to their own devices a tiny bit.
That was real dangerous for Game Freak there, but Game Freak getting away with it. Illy's still a bit against the wall. Not entirely cornered yet, but right there, that's a dangerous situation. Illy kind of rolls out of it despite not really needing to, but then gets hit by that other butterfly.
Yeah, roll in place is probably the funniest thing in Maiden and Spell. Frost does the animation but goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, I think Illy even kind of rolled into the wall a bit. Down to the last oh, that is going to be it. And it is 2-1 in favor of Game Freak, I believe.
Man, this is so random, but I really like alternate Frost color. It's so nice.
Illy switching to Sun.
Also, it's like really important to note, like, Illy's gonna have no results this year. The year's almost over. It's gonna be like Magical Mountain and that's it. Making the ranking thing is gonna be so hard.
What's the ranking thing?
Oh wait, were you here for M&S rank?
Oh, you might have showed it to me, but I didn't feel like doing it at the time.
Yeah. Despite participating in like barely anything, you still technically got on it, right? So it's basically like this really lazy exponential decay based on best tournament placings ranking I made.
Interesting.
It's kind of wild how it is. But Definitely not an accurate depiction of skill, more like how people perform throughout the year in tournaments.
Yeah. Wonder how I did on that, considering I've gotten more second places than there are elements of the power set of the reels.
You actually got 14th, even though
really?
I only consider 2021. If I include 2020 as well, you're probably higher.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you were right between Rem and Ox.
Oh. That's cool. I beat Ox. Not that that even means anything. Illy in a super dangerous situation, but managing to dodge all those butterflies, finally dispel. Oh no!
It was so good until it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was such a fantastic play until what happens.
It does.
Right, and Illy finally getting a few basics on Game Freak once again, but getting caught by the butterfly means that momentum is cut short. Alright, and Illy continuing to just try and basic pressure Game Freak, but Game Freak is just not falling for it, just holding back quite often and not lingering in those basics. Now Illy has to escape, but Game Freak meets Illy with the basic, and it's looking very, very good for the Lich endgame right here. Places a fantastic butterfly as well. Now just one heart away from finishing off this tournament, and that I thought that butterfly shot would be it, and then I was like, oh, Illy dodges it, and then Illy pressed up right below a wide. And Game Freak wins.
Congratulations, Game Freak.
Game Freak said stay. Wait a second.
Wait, what's going on here? Okay, this game does not count, but it looks like it's happening anyway.
I mean, I can put it on Start GG. I can add a game. I can make it so that it's 4-1 if Game Freak wins.
Won't mess up your statistics.
It will mess up the statistics. But that's a long way off. That's
Fair enough.
far future Saya's problem.
Someday you will be future side, you know. Wait, did you say far future side? I thought you were doing it this year.
This year only has 2 months left. I'm not confident in future Saya. Emergency best of 7, true.
True. Nice diamond hit by it.
I mean,
That was
it doesn't take away from how nice the diamond hit was.
True. It does not. Whoa! Did you see that? Illy just moved along the wall right through the Lich butterfly bullets.
Damn.
And it was super fast too.
Peak trackpad Illy is the greatest maintenance spell player of all time.
Yeah, other than Rokusai.
True.
Okay, I'll stop bringing up Rokusai someday. I'm honestly just sad I never got to play against them.
Alright, and Game Freak looking quite good here too. Dodging the basics, crucially, not getting sniped out by the wide either. Moving in with the flower and a final basic to finish the card off. Really clean gameplay.
Good thing I bet on Game Freak and the point that we started before this match.
Oh. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm just being mean for no reason.
Oh yeah, wait. Channel Point Predictions reminds me. Max only bets on Illy. Does that extend to trackpad Illy?
And that's a good question. I don't know if I would have bet on Illy or not.
Oh, it
I
doesn't.
was actually just making up the betting for Game Freak thing. I don't know who I would have bet on for sure.
I need to like get like an extension that automates channel point predictions. Like who will win left, right. So I don't have to type it in every time.
That'd be cool. Probably wouldn't even be hard to program.
Probably already exists. I just need to find it.
Why not go with the bespoke option? Oh, good job. No, Rip Novella, who I would have played against. Well, that was interesting. Game Freak defeating Illy 4-1 in a best of 7 match that was not even an actual best of 7.
I mean, it was a best of 7-ish.
I mean, technically.
Yeah, let's go. Game Freak
Congratulations
4-1.
for winning Stargazers 13.
Hello, Mr. Game.
Hello, Saya.
Hi, Game Freak. How
Hello,
does it feel
Jorge.
to have gone 2-0 in Striker Saturday number 4? Wait, no, wrong tournament.
I-
How does it feel to have won Stargazers 13?
I'm surprised. I didn't think I'd win this when I saw Illy in the bracket. Not gonna lie.
That is pretty understandable.
What happened versus QP? Because that was a 3-0.
Ooh, I did record that set, cause I'm not sure what happened. I was like, cause QP was probably who I was most scared of besides Illy in this tournament. So I just played safer and didn't get cheesed by wide as much. So and then you stack that on top of me being pretty good at dodging storm wide already, and like QP just couldn't hit me.
Alright, and there's been a lot of discourse about Lich's power level. What are your takes?
Yeah, I think maybe the flower can get some nerfs, but I think the rest is fine.
Oh,
Like even if you nerfed it to be worse than pre-patch flower, like the same duration, same cooldown, just with the reduced charge speed, like Lich would still be plenty strong. But no, I think most of it is just the flower being very spammable at times.
Yeah, that's the number one change I would want to make. Like, the fact that the flowers need to be replaced more often, at first you might think that's a good thing, but the fact that the flower is also a defensive option makes it a little tough. I thought the old balance was better, so I would agree. I would want to change the cooldown back to how it was before and the duration back to how it was before.
alright.
Oh,
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I wonder how I would do if I went back in time and played with the original flower with the crazy charge speed. Like looking at old VODs, it's insane how different it is. Go ahead, Saya.
Ooh, and there's some Arcanist takes as well. We saw a singular Arcanist. Unfortunately, could not do well. Was against Game Freak of all people in the first
True.
round.
Yeah. The winner of the tournament. It's a bit rough. And that player, what was their name? Cody something?
Cody Yuki.
Cody
No,
Yuki
wait,
fought
it's Illy.
against both the first place player and the second place player of this tournament.
Yeah, some
Which is a bit
questionable
rough.
seeding from Saya Duck.
What do you mean?
I mean, that's what's supposed to happen to the weakest players, unfortunately.
Wait,
the bottom
wait.
seed fights the top seed. Or
I seeded top 2 relatively correctly. Ish. Cause
some
1
pretty
beat
good
2.
seeding by Saya in this tourney.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you cannot account for the Javaro coin flip.
That's true. Man, I was really, really worried when Illy beat J Feather.
Illy.
I thought I was
Oh yeah.
gonna lose that right then and there.
All right. And since Illy lost, no interview for Illy. We're gonna raid some Omega Striker streamer.
Oh wait, I've got one more question for Game Freak real quick.
Okay.
Oh, what's up?
Which is, how much easier do you think presumable trackpad Illy was compared to usual Illy?
Oh, it's significantly easier. He actually like gets hit.
How often do you win against regular Illy?
Oh,
Out
like
of 10 games.
out of 10?
Yeah.
Try maybe out of 100. Like 1 out of 100
Oh,
or 2.
understandable.
Maybe like 1 in 50. Out of
Yeah,
a few games.
that was a pretty good match.
What are you doing
Very, very
here?
good
You
match.
lost.
Ooh.
I'm starting the raid. We're going
thinking-
over to Beepo VT, someone who I tangentially know that casted Striker Saturday once.
I just wanted to congratulate Game Freak.
Thank you. It was hard fought.
Yeah, congrats, Game Freak.
Illy, how does it feel to be the first person to ever get 4-1 in grand finals?
I'm definitely not
True.
the first. Someone got like 100 zeros.
That's me! You 101, you 100 zeroed
No.
me!
Oh my.
My fault.
You had to do it to Saya.
Alright, I'm raiding. Goodbye. Thanks for watching, thanks for
Goodbye.
playing.
Thanks for hosting, Saya. This was fun.